Hey Janice, it's time for you to study. No, I will do it later. Hey, you should film a video today. Okay, I will do it in 5 minutes. Hey, so have you studied or filmed a video? That's the productive me talking to the lazy me in my mind all the time. Sorry if you hear it. You know what? Actually, I don't feel sorry because that's what the video for. Hi guys, it's Janice here. In real life, we rarely talked about productivity. It is something that all of us have in mind, but we rarely share it with our friends or in school. We all know that productivity is important for success. We rush our minds to finish everything on time, but it is always hard for us to follow our plans with distractions. Let's talk about productivity now. When we talk about productivity, there are two types of people. People that really admire productivity or people that don't care what productivity is. Let's talk about people that doesn't care about productivity at all. They are usually unproductive, not using any results, or they are lazy human being. The society categorizes them as failures. And let's talk about the productive people, or people that really wants to be productive. We observe other people on their productivity method. We try out their method. And usually this will come to two conclusions. One of them will be happy with the results and we become really productive for a short amount of time. Or for most of us, will be fail. But as a normal human being who doesn't have the productivity superpower, we'll push and ask ourselves why the others can achieve. But in 9 out of 10 times, we fail even more. After failing numerous times, it kind of becomes a cycle. And we start asking ourselves, am I the failure that this society categorizes? Am I far from success? Well, the answer is no. Because there must be ways for us to be productive, but it's just different for everybody. You should try to find your best way to be productive and motivated, but that just doesn't mean to blindly follow others' method. When we talk about productivity, we used to look at other people's examples or any method that we can follow. For example, like we would go online to check if there's a list of things that successful people will do every day and we would try to follow them. But in my opinion, it is not always useful, and because everyone's lifestyle is different, it can be less effective on you compared to other people. For example, some successful people will wake up very early in the morning. They wake up every day at 6 a.m. and then they start workout at 6:30 and then they start working, and with their very busy schedule they read a lot of books and they have multiple streams of income. That's how we define successful people in our world today. And when you search on the internet for how successful people live, there are many blogs who talks about like 10 tips to how to be successful or how to become very successful person. There are many lists like have these points. Usually we can take them as a guide for us. It is not necessary to follow every single point from them. Everyone's lifestyle is different. These are only tips or guides for you to follow them to be successful, but it is not rules. And everyone's lifestyle is different. Maybe you work in a night shift. It is really hard for you to wake up early every morning. But sometimes in our mind, we want to be successful and we try to put labels on these rules. We make ourselves too stressful to follow all this. In my personal opinion, I think it is way more important for you to find your best way to be productive. Like find your most productive timing in a day. For me, I know my most productive time is morning and night. My brain works better so that I can be more effective. That's my way of how to be productive. And I find it way more useful than like following other people's guide or rules to to living their lives. What I suggested is try to follow them because like they are here for a reason, but you have to find a balance between you, like your style, and successful people's lifestyle. Another way to motivate yourself is to do a bit of that task you want to do first thing in the morning. I'm actually trying this method too, and this really works for me. No matter it's 10% or like 50% of the task, like try to do a bit in the morning, and then it is way easier for you to get back to it in the afternoon other than skipping it for the whole day. I recently come through a blog post about productivity. It is from a professor in Harvard University, and she said that the impact of progress is way bigger than productivity. What does that mean is looking on the progress itself, it's able to boost your motivation and productivity way more than asking yourself to be productive, because you have a sense of accomplishment. So if you have started that task in the morning of the day, it is way easier for you to get back to it because in your mind, you already know part of that difficult task have already been finished in the morning. I only need to finish the rest of it now. And the last 2 points is about mindset. Usually if we have a big project or something that we fear in front of us, we normally get defeated and less productive to finish that project on time because laziness or distraction is easily get into the way between you and getting those projects done. So if this applies to you as well, you need to try to break that cycle and talk to yourself before sleep, telling yourself that nothing can stop you from being productive in the next morning. And remind yourself that getting started is often the most difficult thing on any task. Then in that night, sleep with this mindset. In the next morning, try to be productive and finish 10% of that task. You have it started already. In the afternoon, it will be easier for you to get back to it. Then on the second night, try to tell yourself again that you have to do the same thing like this morning, which is to finish 10% of that task and repeat day after day, and eventually you will finish that difficult task. So try not to let anything scare you to make you less productive. Just remember, getting started on any task is the most difficult part. Then start it in the morning and you'll be fine. And then the last thing is stop pushing yourself too hard. If you click into this video and watch it this far, I believe you are like me who wants to break that fruitless cycle, and I'm sure you are aware you need a change in your life. And oftentimes we fail because we tried many times. The results, it's not as good as our expectation. In this case, maybe you try many times to be productive, maybe you try many times to be less lazy or to follow any distraction, but then it's hard and eventually the evil wins and we think we fail. We doubt about ourselves, we doubt about our own abilities, but that's not the case. Maybe it's just your method is wrong. Maybe your mindset is not optimized and you are thinking in a bad way. So just remember, find your own method to be productive. Remember to fix your mindset in a right way. Getting started is always the hardest part of any task, and stop pushing yourself too hard. And remember, start small and think big. We can all become successful. This is the end of my video. Please subscribe to my channel and I will see you next time. Bye.